What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be covering another new crazy solo queue strategy that I think is really strong. It's very easy to pull off, and it can really help you guys gain a ton of elo, a ton of LP, and start climbing up the ranks. And I think that's really awesome and really exciting. Before we get into today's video, I just want to mention real quick, we have recently unlocked channel memberships. So if you like the content, if you like what we do, if you like my channel, if you want to help support us, becoming a channel member is an awesome way to do so, and you receive some exclusive member only perks in return. So at least consider becoming a channel member today. With that being said, here we go, getting into today's video, which is about Lux Sona bot lane. So I can't remember if it was season 8 or season 9. We had Taric Sona bot lane. There's like Tahm Kench Sona bot lane too, where you have two supports. They both take support items. They both take turns farming a little bit. They both end up with a little bit of farm, 30, 40, 50 CS by the end of lane phase. Not much. They pretty much get pushed in the whole lane. They pretty much have no gold. The other team gets all the dragons. The other team gets all the CS. The other team probably is taking tower plates. But then you have this super stacked up two supports that just take over the map, take over the game in the late game, and Lux Sona is just the latest iteration of that. So first up, we're going to be running through the rune pages for both the champions. Both champions in this instance are actually running the same rune page. They're both going to be taking Guardian, Shield Bash, Conditioning, Revitalize with Inspiration Secondary with Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight. This is a very scaling rune page. Guardian is obviously good for both of them. They're both ranged champions. They're both going to be on top of each other a lot. Guardian's going to allow them to get that extra shield to stay healthy, to stay relevant. Shield Bash, they both have shields, so it should be really strong for them. Conditioning is going to help them get a little bit tankier, and then Revitalize is going to increase those healings and shields, which is really good on Lux, it's really good on Sona. It's honestly pretty broken and a really integral part of this combo. Then as far as the Inspiration Secondary, Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight are great scaling runes, and that's what this lane is all about. You're gonna pretty much lose every single lane phase. There's not really a combo that Lux Sona is stronger than, especially when you're both taking support items. But you're going to outscale most bot lanes. Most bot lanes are not going to be able to handle your guys' scaling, and you're just going to be really strong, really overpowered, especially once you get in team fights and stuff. As long as you have like a carry jungler or a massive carry top laner or something, somebody that you guys can both buff up, speed up, heal up, keep topped off, and just keep just super strong, you're going to be in good hands. Now, if you have like Maokai top, Sejuani jungle, this might not be the best time to play Lux Sona, but if you have something like an Olaf, a Graves, a Xin Zhao, a Kindred, that's a perfect time to play this. Also, there's certain top laners that can be very strong with this as well. All those carry top laners, especially if they're like a melee guy who needs speed buffs. I'm thinking like a Darius would be so strong with this, because Sona can give you speed boost, she can heal you up, you're just going to be unkillable. It's so strong. Now, Taric obviously keeps Sona a lot safer with like his ultimate, his healing, his stuns and stuff, but Lux at max rank, you can actually get her W to like a 6-second cooldown. So you can constantly be giving shields to the Sona. Also, Lux is range, which has a big advantage over something like Taric, which is melee and needs to like get on top of people. It needs to really get in there to farm and stuff. Lux also does a little bit more damage. She has good CC with like her Q and E. She can slow people, she can stun people, and then her ultimate's going to do a lot more damage than something like a Taric could. So you're not missing as much damage from your bot lane. And then honestly, Sona later in the game, you're going to build a Lich Bane. You're going to have her empowered autos. Sona's going to be doing some damage in the late game too. We can talk about the skill order for both the champions. Lux is going to be maxing W and then maxing E and then maxing Q. You want to get her W cooldown down. You want to make the shield as big as possible. That's going to make her the best. And then as far as Sona, you're going to be maxing W, then Q, then E. W, you want to have those heals. You need to have insane sustain in lane. That's something that's really good about this duo, is that they can just stay in lane and sustain forever with Sona, with Lux's shields and everything. Because you need to make it to the late game. You're going to be weak in the early game, and if you don't have sustain, you're never going to make it to that late game. But since you can stay in lane forever, you're going to be healed up, topped off, you're going to be getting all the CS, all the XP, just all the gold, and then you're going to get to that late game where pretty much it's a free win at that point. As far as the items on both of these champions, for Sona, you're going to be going Spell Thief's Edge into an Archangel Staff, into a Lich Bane, and then boots. You can go Mirk Treads, you can go Sword Shoes. Either way, it's not too big of a deal. And then for the Lux, you're also going to be going Spell Thief's Edge. You're going to be going into an Athene's Unholy Grail, and then Ardent Censer. And Lux does like to go the Lucidity boots. And then also Mikael's is a really good item on Lux as well, just in case your Sona gets CC'd or anybody on the team gets CC'd or whatever. But yeah, those are the main core items on the two. Obviously, you can go situational support items from there. If you get really fed, you could even go an offensive item on Lux or another offensive item on Sona or whatever. The sums, Sona is going Barrier Flash and Lux is going Heal Flash. You want to just be super defensive. The defensive summoners make a ton of sense. You want to stay alive, and that's how you're going to be good to go. Also, for Spell Thief's Edge, since you get reduced gold the more like you start to farm and stuff, both champions want to be farming a little bit. I know I talked a little bit about that in the beginning of the video, but both champions pretty much want to alternate farm. I think you want to get like maybe 3, 4, 5 CS and then be switching off. One champion's going to farm for a little bit while the other champion stacks up their Spell Thief's passive, and then the other champion's going to start farming until the other champion starts stacking up their Spell Thief's passive. You don't want to get too much farm because you want to get a lot of gold from your Spell Thieves. And then another awesome part is that once you both max out your Spell Thieves fully, you're both going to have the upgraded support item. You're going to have so many wards, you're going to have so much vision, and vision is honestly overpowered. Even in the lower elos especially, it can be really good if nobody's really warding and stuff. But yeah, you're two squishy champions. You need a ton of vision. You need to be able to help your team out in that way. And then in the late game, that's going to be super broken too. You're going to be able to get deep wards, ward out the other team's jungle completely, do whatever you got to do, ward your flanks. Having those two support items is super good. But both of these champions, it's going to be hard to CS. You're going to lose most lanes. You're going to lose a lot of dragons. But you don't need a ton of gold. These builds are super cheap. You're both going the support item, which gives you just free upgrades, free gold. You're both getting free boots. Even though Sona is going like Lich Bane, her build is still relatively cheap, and then Lux is going a ton of support items. But this duo is just very strong together. And again, once you get into the late game, as long as you got somebody to buff up and somebody to carry with, this bot lane is going to be absolutely busted. And in solo queue, you know, people aren't playing a lot of tanks, people aren't playing a lot of supportive style junglers and stuff, and top laners. So this is a really great duo lane for solo queue, for duo queue, that you can just climb a ton with. If you can get a friend, it's very easy to pull off. All you gotta do is just sit under tower, farm for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then you just take over the game after that. You both have so many heals, shields, just defensive stuff for each other, that it just gets really easy. But yeah, this is a new bot lane duo that has been kind of taking over solo queue. We're seeing it a little bit in Challenger. I know Tarzan pulled it out a little bit on his Challenger account. I'm sure other people are going to start playing it because it seems pretty busted, and a ton of people have played Taric Sona, a ton of people played Tahm Kench Sona. This is just the newest iteration of that. But yeah, pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about the Sona Lux bot lane? If you tried out, let me know how that goes. Subscribe to update on the latest content. Consider becoming a channel member today. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.